Welcome back, ladies.
Hey, everyone.
We got a good one tonight.
We do. We always have a good one.
I was about to say, we always do that.
I mean, you know, in a perfect world, they would all be excellent and great. But some give me more energy.
Yeah, last week you were really into that one.
I was spirited.
Are you like getting into the episode already? Are you telling the truth?
I mean, this could be, you know, this could be a case study on, you know, times that you don't. You know, we have to sell it to the audience.
No, but for real, we're having a conversation tonight on, is honesty always the best policy?
And let me just tell you, before we pressed go live, I was stepping, and I was saying, I asked Gary, I said, it looks like I can really get down, I can really step. He was like, are you getting ready to make me like set up for a lie right now before this honesty show? I was like, Negro.
But I did not lie.
You did not lie.
She has some work to do. We'll leave her with the hip hop dancing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm all over that. So, at any rate, so
So,
what do you guys think?
is honesty always the best policy? If I was emotionally spent, if I was emotionally bankrupt, perhaps somebody telling me something that they feel like I need to know may not be the best time. So when you look at
So the context of it.
the context and the timing,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to make somebody down a hill.
Right.
You know
Kick
what I
them
mean?
when they're down.
Right, exactly. You
Well,
know,
you're already blue. Let me just tell you, you
Just-
gained a few pounds.
just kick the can down the road a little bit longer, right?
Right.
So in that aspect, maybe.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is, and it depends. I think it's like you said, it's timing. Because if someone's out, and this is just something that was on my mind. If somebody's, you know, how people say, you know, how does his outfit look? And if you're in the house and if they have an opportunity to change, you might want to say, okay, girl, that doesn't compliment your physique, or that doesn't match, or you should go change. But if you're already,
To be totally honest, and be like, nothing about that suggests you.
or you can say that. But if you're already out and somebody says, and
Kick
you
'em while
see
they're
them,
down, right?
you know, why tell them that they don't look good and they're already out? There's nothing they can do about
Right,
it.
now you're just going to ruin their evening.
Yeah, because now they'll be,
Yeah.
you know, all fretful the
Right.
whole night.
Now, we have been about to go someplace and you were like, we look like the odd couple. You were like, go back to the house and change.
But that's because you could go back and change.
Because I could go back and change, right? But yeah. But that's love, though, right?
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, I can all dressy and heels and yeah.
I'm going to
you
the
were-
baseball game.
Yeah,
Right?
no, go change clothes.
Right. So, But if we took it deeper, right, out of the superficial, out of wardrobe,
Right.
what if it had something to do, you know, with like the relationship, like your relationship with the person? I guess you know your person, and you know if they receive well or if they don't receive criticism well, right? So you may have to get very creative with how you present things sometimes.
Yeah.
The mood, have they eaten yet? Are they hangry? You know, do you have to, you know, sex them up first to get on the endorphins all where they need to be? I don't know, but at some point in time, you're going to have a hard conversation with somebody.
And hard and uncomfortable conversations create, in my opinion, they create trust, and they foster trust. So if you can, life isn't always going to be easy conversations, roses, and you know, and rainbows. So uncomfortable conversations need to be had, and growth comes out of those uncomfortable conversations.
They do. They really do.
When you have those and you're able to be honest with someone about something that's on your mind, and even if you feel like in the moment it's not going over well, if there's if the relationship is true, then I find that it usually, you know, when you circle back, it works itself out. Because people appreciate honesty. like you said, if it's in the right moment, it's in the right time, but not when somebody's lost their job and then you want to be honest with them about everything that's in their life.
You done just listened to me. I told you so.
Yeah.
You should have went to
Right.
cosmetology school.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, to kind of just give some more legs, what you're saying here, at least the way I interpret it, is that those hard conversations, to me, you say they build trust. I kind of feel like they reinforce your foundation. Is what the relationship is built on. And I feel like at the end of the day, what's rooted strong doesn't have to fear the wind. So a hard conversation shouldn't dismantle your relationship. It shouldn't make everything fall apart
No.
because someone said something that
Correct.
you didn't find was complimentary or pleasing, or what I mean. You have to grow, and in order to grow, you have to be able to, hear the things about yourself that needs to be worked on.
Mhm. It takes a certain level of maturity to be able to
On both parts.
to be able to hear, to receive, and to
And to give
to
it.
sit down and actually initiate a conversation.
Yeah.
Because if you're really honest about the conversation, sometimes it's harder on the person that's saying it. You're like, because it's gonna hurt. It could possibly hurt someone's feelings. And so if you love someone, whether it's a friend or a lover, a spouse, or whatever, no one wants to hurt someone.
No one.
Yeah.
I don't know if no one wants to hurt someone. It kind of depends on
Well, I mean, if
where
you-
you are, but
Well,
if you want the
yeah,
relationship,
so there's no blanket statements. Yeah, there are no blankets. I don't think that honesty is always the best policy, nor do I think, everybody is not thinking that, oh no, I don't want to hurt someone. So you're right.
I don't know. I do feel like, the old adage, what doesn't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. So if you're lying about something, it's going to come to the surface at some point. And I do feel in most instances, it is better to tell the truth. Lies they just compound on other lies, and before you know it, you're in just a big ass pool of lies, and it's wrong to the person that you're lying to. It's wrong to yourself because you aren't being authentic in this moment or in the relationship, and it's built on bullshit. I don't know, Gary.
You're so quiet.
I know
Robin.
he's over there counting lies and he told his past.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first one to say that, in different parts of my life, I definitely had a very loose relationship with the truth. And within that, man, to tonight's topic, there are times that people need to be lied to. There are times that, that the truth is not convenient, pleasant, or something that needs to be heard in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've told you all a story one time about me and Jeff going to see our friend's son at his piano recital.
Mm.
And so this kid was horrible. And I mean, he was absolutely horrible. I mean, I promise you. And so, the dad was like, well, what do you think? And so I did what I typically do. I didn't lie, but I lied through omission. I was like, wow.
Oh, right. That's your favorite word.
Wow. And so Jeff just came out and was like, hey man, don't you think it's about time you get that boy in football? And I was like, I'm sitting there like, well, this is just so not cool. And that was a time when Jeff could have learned the use of the word wow.
You're right.
Wow.
There's other ways though, right? That's a pretty good example because people are very sensitive about their children.
But the dad wanted to be lied to. He was sitting there just like we were.
You just say your son he's very enthusiastic when he plays. He was really banging those keys out. But at the same time, he might be good at the guitar. He might be good at you could interject. He's good with his fingers.
His father was sitting there just like we were. His father knew that it was horrible.
So it didn't have to be said then.
Right. Then he was just looking for you all to entertain him, basically.
But he wanted to be lied to.
Yeah, I mean, like
he wanted us to be like, wow, that was bad.
It wasn't that bad. That was
I see I see what he was trying to do. But it was, I handled it the best way I could. I was like, wow.
That's kind of like, when people say, "Oh, and the baby's so cute," and you're like, "Oh, I
Look at
love
those
that
eyes.
outfit.
Look,
Where'd
look,
you get socks?"
look at those eyes. Ooh, those are the cutest fingers ever. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, but there are times when you need to tell the truth, and it's not always pleasant. It's not always a good situation, but you have to be in a situation where especially in a relationship, where you are able to kind of navigate that and not tell people what they want to hear, not lie through omission. Because the problem, with lies is this: the truth happens, so it's consistent. You had on a green dress, you was driving a blue car, blah 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 blah. That's that's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
You were headed north, that's not going to change. But when you tell a lie, that's a part of your imagination or your whatever. And so you kind of, in a lot of cases, are making that up. If somebody studied to tell a lie, that's a whole different thing. But if you just giving me a spontaneous lie, you making that up as you go along, and over time, that's going to erode. And to your point, you're going to have to tell more lies to cover up for the lie. And
then you got to try to remember all these lies.
And that's not going
That part,
to.
can't remember what happened
Right.
yesterday.
Right. I don't know what happened.
Something that didn't happen yesterday.
So it's but there are, I used to take my mom, God rest her soul. I used to take her to church for Easter. And I did this every year. And my mom would always ask me, like, well, son, does this dress make me look fat? And I'd be like, no, Mom, I see why Dad marries you. He's a lucky man, blah, 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 blah. And, in reality, that probably wasn't the truth.
The dress made her look fat.
Was any dress
She
gonna
bought
make her
it in
look
the big
skinny?
girl section. Come on now.
Well,
Well,
that's your mother.
That's your mother, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's, what are you gonna say? It would look better if you lost weight. What are you gonna say to your mother? What are you gonna say? Just.
No, there was a time when I was.
It's a nice dress.
I would have drunk uncle that, well, I gotta say it. It's on my mind. I'm gonna say. I could have been that person. But again, yes, it is my mother, so I did.
Right.
But my mother, in my mind, I think that she wanted to be lied to.
Maybe. What about this? What if you're in a relationship and you're in the car and she's quiet, just really quiet. You're like, you all right? You okay? We good? Oh yeah, I'm fine. You ask, she said she was fine. You all go on to the concert, whatever you're about to go to, and then the next day she is like, I'm really not okay. I just didn't want to talk about it then, and so she wasn't honest because she didn't want to spoil the evening. But you were like, I knew something was wrong with you. I asked you. We could have talked about it. And in her mind, she's like, I'm not trying to. You spent $200 on these tickets. Let's enjoy the evening. We can table this. Come back to it. Instead of saying, yes, there's something on my mind. I don't want to tell you right now while we're going. Because then now you don't want to talk about it. Now you're in a funk because she's in a funk. You're just not talking about the funk. So that's a lie, right? She wasn't being honest, but she did it in her mind, for the greater good of the evening, of the experience.
That greater good it has a place.
It does.
But guys ask to be lied to in this way all the time, and maybe you've experienced it, maybe you haven't. And it's a stupid question. But if it's one set of answers is
What's the question?
is mine the biggest
Oh,
one
I knew you were
ever?
gonna say that. But God, you guys don't ask stuff like that.
Do you ask?
I'm hold on. I am not the representative for people
No,
that
I
would
mean,
do that.
but you have.
But yeah, if guys have.
That's some real insecure stuff. If somebody
Yeah.
asks you a question like that.
Again,
I'm
I'm not the
You're
advocate.
the one in urinals with a whole bunch of men. You should be able to answer this damn question better than a woman
Not
can.
at this age. You guys aren't asking that, right?
But I'm saying over life, somebody has asked.
I don't. I don't think
I've
I've ever
never
had
gotten
that.
that
Yeah.
You all are so blessed.
I think that's a very peculiar question.
It is.
And I would think that the person is very peculiar. Who
I
asked
mean,
it.
I guess I can understand a man thinking it, but not actually verbalizing it.
Right.
I mean, when you talk about going through life and seeing things, you know, I mean, if a baby can come out, you know, what you putting in ain't really all of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's anybody.
Yep.
That's not true. That's a certain time that the body responds to. It's not always like that. It's not like hello. Right. It's not like
Well, no, but
Well, some people.
okay, leave it alone because he's
Yeah.
seen way more than you.
right. in both regards. So, like I said, men are in urinals with other men. You already know how you stack up against.
Let me just
everybody.
Let me just correct you right there. That's like the number one rule. That when you're in the urinal, look straight ahead.
You have peripheral vision.
Ain't no Peter peeping.
You have peripheral.
There is no Peter peeping.
I can see Kim, and I'm not even looking at Kim right now. I can see her. I can see you, and I'm looking straight ahead. I can still see.
No, ain't no Peter.
And in the days of
And you guys are this close together.
well,
First of all, you trying to stay away just in general, but you ain't trying to like catch no strays.
yeah, because I was gonna say in these days and times of like trans, you don't know who you're standing next to. You don't happen to like look at the person that you're standing next to.
You can
when
look
you're
at
in your most vulnerable moment with
but-
your
but-
penis in your hand.
But let me,
You don't want to know who's standing next
if
to
there
you.
were a head camera, the head camera can only go like this. There is no, that's it. You cannot do that. It's impossible. It's against the rules.
I don't know.
Women would be like,
We will be like,
girl, what's going on down there?
is that new? New?
And I mean, women have, have a area that they can go to that they, their level of comfortability with other women is far greater than men will ever be.
I know.
And thankfully, because I don't know that I would want some man having those type of conversations with me.
Offering you moisturizer at the urinal. You don't want that.
Or what I mean.
Telling you it's a little ashy down there. Here's some moisturizer.
Or some real crazy. Oh my God, it's huge. You be like,
See, now I can understand a man probably asking, is this the smallest you've ever seen? But not, is this the biggest?
I don't. Mm-mm.
I still think,
trust me.
With that question, he is asking to be lied to.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
If a man says, "Is this the smallest you've ever seen?" which that would be the craziest question
I know of a person who asked the question, and he got mad because of the vigor that she answered him with was like, not by a long shot.
What?
Well,
The
but
question
you-
was, is it the biggest?
yeah.
Was it the biggest? Whatever. And she was like, not by a long shot. And she, whipped it out, like, not by a long shot.
It was just sitting there on her tongue.
Wow.
I hope he asked me.
Wow.
So now his little feelings are hurt.
Well, you
And-
should have.
And
Right,
he's,
why
and he's,
ask that question?
but again, I'm catching the blowback for that because he's telling me the story, and I feel like I really don't have any experience in this area, so I don't know what to tell you at this point, bro. I don't know how you should feel. I don't know why you asked. It's a lot. I got questions. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, that.
At this age, like I said,
This
I
wasn't
know
yesterday.
this isn't the topic. Well, it kind of is a topic because I can see that question being posed or even thought of 30 years ago. But at this age, that's like someone.
I've never even heard
That's
that
like
30
you
years
dating
ago.
a woman and she's like, "Am I the prettiest you've ever dated?" What?
No, your mother was much better looking.
Oh man.
Gary. You get it? You dated the mother too?
Oh, I get it.
You're like, what?
She's learned
I
to
don't know
ignore
what
me.
thinking Cynthia.
Right.
Yeah, I don't miss much. Yeah.
She's learned to ignore me. Like, I
Right.
am not even going to respond. I'm going to hold these jaws tight, face forward. I'm not saying nothing. But, I mean, my point is that, not to to interject that part, but my point is that, there are times when, people ask questions or they lead you down a path where they want to be lied to. I mean, I deal with it a lot because, you all know that I love to cook, and I love the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I love the honest feedback. I love well, it was a little salty. It was this. It was that. But a lot of people interpret that as, man, no, I have to give them a glowing review, and that's not what I want at all. But I'm
Oh no, you want honesty.
yeah, but I'm lied to constantly.
Yeah, everybody
How
wants
you gonna be lied
honesty.
to? Maybe you make the best guacamole I've ever had. So
Yes.
Gary,
Better than mine?
I don't remember your guac. When did you make
You're
guac?
not making this better, but
I don't remember your guac.
it's so
Well,
good.
was
She
it?
doesn't really even compare other people's.
It was
food.
good. He had it at it was at Rhonda's party,
Yes.
and it was so good that I was standing by the bowl so I could keep refilling my little plate because it was really not
And
much
we
else
had-
that I could eat.
We had a lot of food adventures that night.
I'ma
Remember
hear
that was
about
the
this
night that
one.
that was the night that I took the cake hostage.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But anyway, we get off topic.
I'm just sitting here in my feelings right now.
I know,
but that's
right?
okay.
Better than mine.
Um,
I know Sloan makes some good guac too, but it was very good.
Thank you.
question.
Yes.
You have an opportunity to finally talk to somebody who you've had an interest in for a long time. But you're a popular guy. So a lot of times if you're out with one of your female friends, people are always gonna say something like, oh, I think he might be talking to her, or he's had a relationship with this person or that person. And so this person that you're interested in says something like, hey, did you ever date Karen? And you're like, no.
Karen who?
Right. Well, he knows who she is, but Karen. And you're like, no, that's just my girl. We're just friends. So you guys get into this relationship, right? You and this girl.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes out that you did kind of date Karen. You don't want to call it dating. It's a let's,
We was hooking up, but I mean.
But she asked you a question and you answered it like, no, we just friends. And in your mind, you're like, did I lie? Did I not lie? We were just friends. But she wanted to know before she got involved with you, did you date this person? And so you lied. And to me, it would be like you lied because you knew that if you answered it honestly, she may be like, nah, never mind. I'm not going to do that. It kind of is messy. I don't want to do it. And so you say no because you really didn't date her, but you messed with her.
It's splitting hairs. I was in a.
To you, it's splitting hairs. To her, it's a big deal.
No, it's splitting hairs when I lie through omission. I did it or I didn't. It's flat out. There's two ways that can go.
But it's still a
And,
lie.
and I was in a past relationship where, very early on, I told a lie. And that relationship was never able to go to where I thought it could go to or where I even wanted it to go to.
Because of the initial lie?
Because of the initial lie. So in my current relationship.
The person knew you lied?
They discovered it.
So did you? Okay, go ahead.
So in my current relationship, I just tell. It's not, I'm going to deal with because what happened.
Right.
Okay, so let's go back to that the other
Scenario?
No, not yours.
Can I name names?
No,
No.
the one
Okay.
he was just talking about. So why didn't you then say, yes, I messed up, I lied initially, but I want us to have a conversation about this because I think that we can do some things.
We can go further. Yeah.
I mean, all of those things were said, and this is the way that I was like, hey, I told you that because of this, and I really thought that, you were really special to me, and I'm sorry, I really wanted to be with you, blah, 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 and we just could never get over it, and every time that we got into something, it would circle back, or there were situations where I needed her to believe in me, and she was kind of like,
She was skeptical. Yeah.
And I decided that, what, I'm gonna just tell the truth. I'm definitely gonna just tell. We're gonna deal with that.
It's better. It's better because there's nothing worse than when someone is asking you a question that you really don't have to lie about and then you lie about it. I mean, I'm not saying you can't get past it, but it is a hurdle. And a lot of times you may feel like you asking me something that's not your business. But I think it's better to say at this point in life, I don't want to talk about that,
Because
or I don't feel like that's relevant,
Right.
or I don't feel like you should you shouldn't even be asking me this, right?
in my experience,
Instead of mine.
in my experience with that part about, revelation or telling that person about another person, women get territorial and they'll start not telling but telling. They'll start marking their territory. They'll start treating her funny, and she's telling me, so now I got to tell even more lies or repeat the lie that I was like, I don't know why she acted like that. So I'm telling. If I did it, I'm telling.
Mm-hmm.
And if I shouldn't have done it, if or I can't be with you, whichever one it is. But if I did it, I did it.
And I think also the worst kind of lies when you see a lie, you see someone lying to you actively, or something that is happening
Oh,
right
my
then and there.
goodness.
It's like, so not only are you lying, but you're gaslighting me. You talk to me like I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? It's horrible.
I was dating somebody who lied to me, and it really threw a monkey wrench in some huge plans that we had. And I just was like, you know what? I just made the decision. This isn't going to go any further.
Yeah.
And and this was after like 5 months of dating, and it was just dating. We had never done the do, but I was almost there. But when he told this big gargantuous lie, I was like a turtle going back into a shell. Like, nope.
U-turn.
I did. I closed the garage door, put the padlocks up. I was like, no,
Yeah.
because I just feel like if how you start a relationship, it's just gonna continue. It's just with these lies, and really the lie could have been avoided, but it was told to because he was trying to avoid an uncomfortable conversation that I would have understood, that I would have been okay with, that he thought that I would have rejected him. I guess I don't know, but I don't know because I can't tell you what somebody else is thinking. But he lied to avoid an uncomfortable conversation, which I get sometimes that people don't want to have uncomfortable conversations, but when you know that it is a huge, we had huge plans. Without saying
that
too
water
much.
bottle like it was a blankie.
Because I'm thirsty. I had chicken fajitas.
So listen, people do take the path of least resistance. It's
I get that.
human nature, I think, for people not to want to be uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't honest in the beginning, when you feel like this lie is going to come back, or I just don't feel good about this lie, I feel like you can always sit somebody down and say, I want to come clean about something. You could do that. And I think that the person on the receiving end is going to look at you in a different light. Not that you are a liar, but you know what? You wanted to right a wrong. And I was worth you being very vulnerable and honest. It is sometimes not the mistake, it's about how you recover from the mistake. Now, if the other person's like, one strike, you're out, then that's what it is. But I feel like if you are in it, maybe, I don't know for sure, but if the person who told this big gigantic lie to you would have been, when it all came to light, would have been more remorseful.
I was just thinking.
Would have been more regretful, more compassionate. Like, all right, we got to let calm down. I want you to breathe. You know what I mean? Instead of being defensive, like, you know what I mean?
It happened. I shouldn't have to live in it.
Yeah.
But the flip
I
side
already
of
said
it.
sorry.
The flip side of it, because we're talking about both sides of telling the truth. The flip side of it is that in my current relationship, my girl knows that I'm gonna say it. It's happening. So she knows that she can ask, and it's cool. It makes our communication better.
Mm-hmm.
It makes everything better because she knows that if she really wants to know, she asks, I'm gonna tell her.
That's good.
And for me,
and that makes your relationship so sweet and so mature and so wonderful.
And you
I'm
get to
happy about
live
that for you.
and-
in your truth.
And for me,
Yes.
you know, I say all of this stuff that I actually did do, and she still liked me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm like,
wow.
okay,
You
man.
still like me even though you know XYZ. That's a great feeling.
So
to have.
so
yeah.
so there's a very liberating part for me of the truth. So you know
That's good.
that's kind of where I'm
That's good.
operating from.
That's good. That's what we all want.
But
We want somebody who's gonna accept you for you.
and meet me where I'm at. You know, this is where I
Yes, that's
am.
good.
It
Good for
happened.
you.
I did it. You know.
Are you the same with her? Do you lend that
That's a good
same
question.
grace? Do you lend that same outlook, like that was your past and this is where you're with me now, you mine?
Well, I mean, I think that by my being honest, it has allowed her to really just open up to me. And so we have, you know, real open and honest conversation about a lot of things. And so I don't know, you know, because I obviously don't know her history in terms of what her openness was, but she tends to be a very open person. And I think I would like to believe that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I share. You know, that I'm willing to
So
share.
it makes her comfortable.
Yeah,
sharing
it makes
too.
it makes her comfortable in saying, you know, hey, this is what happened.
Okay. That's good.
And so for me,
Look at you in a mature relationship.
it's about time.
I know, right? Yay!
But she, you know, she gives me grace.
That's good.
You know, she understands that, you know, I don't come into this perfect. And I think that allows her to, you know, to share and not repress things or, you know, not deal with them. She kind of just tells me. And I tell her. And if she asks me about somebody, you know, I tell.
I know I've gotten lipstick on your shirt enough times. I'm like, damn it, tell her I'm sorry.
It's Kim,
I
you know.
right?
But I mean, and that's the great thing too, because you know, I don't have to lie to her and not have her around or not, you know, do this. My friends are her friends.
And that's the way it should be. That is when you know that you are in a relationship and there is no bullshit in it. If that person can take you around his friends and you can take him around your friends and we're all one, yes, all one big happy family. That's what I want, because I want my person to be
same.
my best friend. And like when you're having hard conversations, difficult conversations, you should be able to, first of all, I feel like you can't retreat, right? You don't want to go back into your shell and you don't want to be defensive, because at the end of the day, if we're together, who else am I going to be talking about this to? It's you, the person I'm in the relationship with. You shouldn't want your person to have to go talk to, you know, Mo, Larry, Curly, and Joe, or Sally, Sue, and Peggy about what we should be talking about. They don't hold the answers. Only the people in the relationship hold the answers, right?
In a perfect world, that is how it should work. You know, you should be able to open up and have open and honest conversations, even difficult ones, as the case may be. However, you know, we will lie to shield somebody from something. I don't want you to look at me differently or feel differently about me, so I'm gonna hide this part of it, or I'm gonna, you know, bury it deep in the recesses of whatever. But at the end of the day, it does more harm than good. And once you go down that path, you know, a lie begets a lie begets a lie. And you know, man, my grandmother used to always say that if you a lie, you will steal. And I was like, damn, those are like two totally. I might tell a lie about the theft, but I'm not. If just because I lie don't mean that I steal. But there is a progression of lies, and you know, the more you do it, the more you become comfortable with it, the more you can justify it.
And the more, the better you get at it, though.
But why are you lying?
That too.
Why are you lying in the first place?
Why? Because there's something in you that
To
you're
protect
hiding.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's
But
selfish.
if at this stage of the game, if we're being with somebody, why are you lying?
You shouldn't have to.
No.
You grown.
But like we said earlier, it can be situational.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I said initially I was like, oh, it's selfish. You lie to protect yourself, but not always. Sometimes you do lie. You know, it's contextual and situational because you want to protect the other person. So it varies on why we lie. We just have to be able to decipher when it's appropriate.
But
Because there are situations where you need to lie, like you said.
at this age, though, you know, and you're really trying to be with somebody, why are you lying to that person? You know, deal with what's there. I don't even have that much time left. So I'm not going to spend it, you know, creating lies that are adjacent to the lies that I already told. It's not, that's not, you know, why would I lie to the person that I'm with? Like,
So in the example that I gave you about you guys are going to the concert, you asked what was wrong. She was like nothing, you know. And then the next day she was like, well, that really was. Should she have just simply said, let's enjoy the night and leave it alone?
I
And not lie.
both responses are going to kind of get the same reaction from me. But in the case of her, you said not wanting to talk about. That's how I don't interpret it as a lie. I mean, clearly something was wrong. But if she says, you know, I don't. To me, what I'm hearing is I don't want to talk about it now.
Even if she said, I'm good.
I'm gonna believe her. I'm inclined to believe her. I
Right.
choose to believe her. I don't see that as a lie because I think that I would be nitpicking at that point. If you know, if she says, "Hey, you know, man, I'm good," I believe you.
So it's not going to be an issue when she comes back the next day and says, well, I really wasn't good. I only said that so we can have a good evening.
I appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Good looking out.
Okay.
Way to be there, player.
From the Himalayas.
No, I mean, you know,
All right.
what I'm learning more so than anything is that we have to pick our battles.
We do.
And, you know, to be that technical about, you know, you omitted something to, you know, to protect me or the evening or whatever it was that you were protecting, you know, you said you were good. So maybe at that exact moment in your mind, you were. I believe you.
You're good enough.
Right. The evening was going to be good, you know, and if it worked out, you know, maybe I was going to be good with your mad ass. I mean, it's just, you know,
Semantics.
It's semantics, yeah. So I'm picking my battles. I choose to be happy in that situation. She said she was. I believed her. We moved on.
I'm cool with that.
What do you guys think? Oh, what? I've heard
The in-person.
The in-person.
Yeah. But you can ask what they thought.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Let us know for sure. Like, is this like something that you do? Something that you've done? Have you been forgiven for it? I want to know. Like,
Would you forgive somebody for it?
For lying to
for lying.
Yeah.
Let us know. Drop your thoughts in the comments, please. What do you think?
I'm just, you know, initially on the trailer, I was like, for all you liars out there, does it make you a liar though? I guess if you have a history of
If it's a pattern of
keeping
behavior.
that, right, this whole,
Does one lie make you a liar? Who has ever lied just once in their lifetime?
no, just
You mean to one particular person?
in your relationship. This is something that you do.
But, I mean, there are
It would
lies,
be annoying.
there are lies that are told
It would be annoying.
that are not necessarily lies, but like if I'm telling you it's going to be okay, I don't know that.
True, but you're saying that to console them,
Exactly.
to get past. Well, at the end of the day, things will be okay. It may not be okay at that moment, but
But,
I agree.
but
Everything-
I'm
everything
feeling,
works as it's supposed to.
I'm really feeling like you gonna die, but I'm like it's gonna be okay.
women, you going to jail.
Everything works out as it's
I'm gonna
supposed
see
to.
you in
right,
37 months. You know, so-
But guys, definitely put it in the comments. Let us know what's going on in your life. Tell us. We want to know.
We do. We need to know.
in
And
person.
wait, when the people drop, and I've asked you guys this before. When people drop their comments in Facebook,
Mhm.
do they save?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So they do save. Okay. So yes, our in person for February is February 28th, 3 p.m.
4507 South Indiana Avenue at the wonderful, wonderful DOI Studios.
DOI Studios.
Yes.
All right.
Does it stand for something?
District Outreach Industries.
So join us February 28th if you're in Chicago or Chicagoland. February 28th at 3 p.m.
3 to 6.
And we're going to have the wonderful sounds and audio of DJ Clayton Blastin' Mastin
And like bites.
and Light Bites.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious light bites.
Yes, delicious light bites.
So we will see you soon,
We will see you in a couple of weeks,
and
but
we'll
we
see
will
you on Tuesday.
absolutely
Yes.
8:30.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Have a good night.
Is honesty the best policy? Is it?
What do you find? Okay.
The X and the
Y'all
one.
can see me stepping now.
Oh, put them shoulders away.
Now, put that face in there. Do the face.
Uh-uh.
Do the face. Step the face. Step the
I
face.
know? What do I know?
Let's finish at the right hand corner. There you go.
No.
You can hand me that one, Kim, please.